Welcome to Focus Garage. Today we're going to be working on the Focus ST. We haven't covered this car a lot this year because I haven't been driving it and paying attention to it. Barely put 5,000 miles this year so far in 6 months. That's unheard of. However, I do have a daily and a project and 2 bikes, so it does not get driven a lot. But it does need an oil change, it does need spark plugs and oxygen sensor, as well as a new battery. And we're also investigate what's the situation with the battery. Currently it's sitting around 80,000 miles. Let's take a look at it. Oh, I don't have the keys, so we can't really take a look at it. But anyway, trust me, it's sitting around 80,000 miles. So it could be this starter could be an issue, and if it is, maybe 80,000 is where they give up, or it could be just excessive wear from, I don't know, like the weather and whatnot. Illinois is not nice to the cars. It's very hot in the summer times and it's very cold during the winter time. Currently today is the hottest day so far. The real feel is somewhere around 110 degrees, so don't mind my sweating. Sorry about that, but we're gonna work on the Focus ST. That I gotta do it. We're gonna take a look at the starter and show you guys a little bit of DIY, not in depth as much, because it is fairly easy, accessible. So you should be able to do it yourself pretty easily. So the other thing that I noticed is for the project car, I went to the junkyard to pick up some parts, and this video is probably be released after the releasing the project car. So if you're wondering about it, go take a look at the video prior, and we did a reveal on it, so you know what it is. Anyway, there were a couple of focuses, I think 13 and 15 and a couple of 16s, and they were all missing starters. So it's probably a common issue with these cars that people are going to junkyard and picking it up. I mean, I don't think stuff like that, alternator, starter, like I don't think used part is gonna be good enough, depending on the price that you get. But this kind of stuff is kind of like pain in the butt to do it. So if you want to do it now, you should just do it right and don't do it again. You know, it lasted 80,000 miles, and hopefully it will last another 80,000 miles or something like that, and I don't have to deal with it for a really long time. So yeah, show you guys. I'm not gonna show you guys the oil change and all that stuff. That's just boring, and spark plugs are also boring. It's very easy. Oxygen sensor is also different than other people because I do have the J tube or whatever it is for the oxygen sensor defaller, so that will be different than most, but it is pretty accessible as well. You just need to take the skid plate and it's right there, so you can just hopefully you can remove it pretty straightforward if you are having problem with the oxygen sensor. So let's go around the car once I do all this stuff, and take a look at the starter and see what's up. So after all this change, throw an engine check engine code for the weak starter. So I'm just gonna go ahead and replace that, and I already removed the starter. So it's like it sits right under the intake manifold. Try to get it in there. So you can see where those two. There's a cable. Sits right there. You can see the flywheel and these two grommets. You don't want to lose those. So it sits right there. It's a 13mm stud that goes in there, and there's 10mm bolts that are holding this metal clip right here. That is for your that holds on to the wiring, kind of like a bracket for your wiring, the negative. And then these are over here that are behind. I'll show you guys on the starter. So let's go take a look at the starter, and that's pretty easy to remove. And when we look at the starter, the one that I have, let me try to do it this way. So the one that it's removed from the car is pretty rusty, and these two right here you need to remove. This is a 10 millimeter, and this is a 10 millimeter and 13 millimeter right here that holds onto the negative cable, I believe. You just gotta, one is positive, has to be, or either way. So you gotta remove that, and this is the new one. I can't really tell if it's good or not when you spin it. Fairly easy. This is kinda, there's like some kind of restriction, you know. I don't know. They sound both the same. So we're gonna pop that bad boy in, and you can see that there's like kind of like a seal, so the water doesn't go into your flywheel. And I'm looking at the teeth over here. These are good, and so does the one over here. So I don't know, hopefully I'll swap this out and I'll be fine. Hopefully nothing is electrical, because I hate that. So I'll crank it up and get to work. So it's easy to install your positive and negative cable on the starter up here. It's very straightforward. The small one, I believe, is the positive, and the thicker cable is the negative. And then you can just like wiggle this in there, right? And it sits. So there are two dowel pins, one on the top, and you don't probably see the one at the bottom, that locates the starter to the block. And once you do that, you can start putting your studs. These are the studs that they're both the same. Goes top and the bottom. These are 13 millimeters, this part, and this is the 10 millimeter, where you're gonna have the this metal bracket right here that goes on top of it. It holds all the cables and whatnot. So we're gonna start installing this, and then hopefully the car will start. So quick update, I don't know what that means, but when I drained the oil, it was exactly 6 quart, and I put 6 quart in it. So that just tells me that I have not been smoking or well, basically consuming any oil. So let's just go ahead, and after installation of the starter, let's see if it's gonna start. There you go. It starts right up. Tells me the engine is on. That's cool. Tire low pressure. Hood is open, and I do have 79,000 miles on it. It's about to go 80. So make sure we're on the right. I don't know. I think it's going pretty well, I would say. Not complaining. So, well, oh shit, ha. I do have my, that's weird. My headlights both on. That could be just a fluke. Who knows? Well, I'm gonna shut this off and wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. I tried to help you guys as much as possible with the DIY stuff, and I'm sorry if this is not in depth as much as our other videos, because this was pretty easy, and it was like kind of like this video wasn't about the starter, it was more about an update on the Focus ST, what's going on with it, the bigger turbo Focus ST that we have in the channel. We do try to release as much as videos as possible, but it's kind of hard to do when you both have a full-time job and where actually both of us are working overtime most of the time. So we apologize for not pushing out as much as content. Sorry about that. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up, and if you guys have any questions about the Focus ST or the starter install, please reach us at Focus Garage at Facebook or Instagram, and we are also really good at responding back to any comments that you guys leave. So thanks for watching. Kudos to all.